Please tell me your name and what city state you live in.
My name is Mason Parker. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I was raised there by way of Jersey and Connecticut. I was born in Connecticut, then Jersey, then Charlotte, North Kakalaki, baby.
Please confirm you are 25 or over.
Very much so.
Tell me about your music. When did you begin rapping and producing?
I began rapping when I was about 9 years old. I was like really heavily influenced by Tupac and actually Michael Jackson from a performance aspect. But just the lyricists of the late '90s, early 2000s really spoke to me, and even before that, like really spoke to me.
What inspired it? When did you know that you wanted to embark on this journey as a rapper?
Um, when I got my first standing ovation when I was probably like 11 years old. It wasn't for a rap though; it was for a spoken word piece that I did called "The Understanding," and I wrote it and I performed it. And the thing, I grew up at a Christian school, so and it was very much athletics based. So I kind of was like the odd man out, being the artsy fartsy kid, and I wrote this piece called "The Understanding," out of my frustration of being like misunderstood, I guess. And that was the first time I got a standing ovation, and at that moment, I realized that I could connect with people in that way, and it was over after that.
What's the biggest risk you've taken in your music career? Your most significant moment of doubt?
Moving to LA by far was the most nerve-wracking, what the hell am I doing moment. My children are in Charlotte, my family is all on the East Coast. And yeah, I moved out here. At the time, I had a deal on the table. I had some things going on, and as soon as I came out here, like everything just fell apart, and I had to figure out how to pick up the pieces from there. And it really showed me what I was made out of.
Why do you keep getting up and working hard day in and day out? What keeps you going? What keeps you going?
My children are my biggest why, but Vince Lombardi actually had a quote that I like, that I hold on to. He said, the longer you work at something, I'm probably paraphrasing, but the longer you work at something, the harder it is to quit. And like I said, I've been doing this since I was 9. And, no matter how you slice it, I'm grown, so that's a long time. Yeah, I've been doing this as long as I can remember. It's a part of my essence. It's a part of my being. And I have to create. And, I'm at a point in life now where, because of the responsibilities that I have, I got to get paid for it. So I had to figure that out real quick.
What's been the biggest obstacle you've had to overcome?
The biggest obstacle that I've had to overcome is probably myself. I think a lot of times we're our biggest problem. Because, nobody can truly get in the way of you but you. So my biggest problems have been getting out of my own way, growing up, maturing, taking accountability for certain things, and making sure that I stay true to myself and dedicated to my hustle and dedicated to my craft.
What has been your biggest breakthrough or success?
My biggest breakthrough or success, I think is still yet to come, but thus far has been the release of my single this last year, Black Girl Magic. Almost had 250,000 views on YouTube alone, and about 100,000 streams. And we just released that back in June. So, it's pacing pretty well. I'm excited about, what doors it can open up. I got more music on the way. But yeah, I think that's probably one of my biggest accomplishments. I've been on BET, I've been on Revolt, BET Jams, tour. I've done a few things, but I think Black Girl Magic is my biggest accomplishment, not just numbers wise, but also because of the impact that it had in people's lives. If you go on the video and you look under the comments, you can see what that song meant to people or means to people. I still get messages about how people start their day with that song and how good it makes them feel. And so whether they're a Black woman or not, and that's what's like really cool about it. So yeah, definitely for sure.
What's the next big thing for you? What are you working toward?
I got an EP dropping in February. The comic book Paperback Hero Saga drops in May. And we launched the brand Sound Sneakers and Superheroes at the top of the year. So there's a lot to announce around that. But comic books, kicks, and hip hop. That's what I'm about. And so we're about to like go super hard on those three fronts in the coming year. Really excited about that. So yeah.
Have you built a solid following and community? Tell us about them and what it's like having a community behind you.
My ink blots, yes. We are all ink blots, open for interpretation. And that's what I refer to my followers and my fans, my friends, my family. It's been a long time coming. I really had to work hard at finding my audience, and I'm still breaking into my audience, actually. As you can imagine, the intersection of hip hop, sneakerhead culture, and comic book culture is a very niche demo, and so it took me a minute to figure out how to reach those people. But now that I have reached those people, like when you have a core following, when you have like a cult following, I'd rather have 5,000 super dedicated fans than 5 million followers. You know what I mean? I'd rather have 5,000 people spending $100 on me every month than 5 million people just giving me 1,000 likes on every picture. So I definitely have seen the value of having real dedicated fans, and I appreciate y'all for everything you do.
Who do you most look forward to sharing a beer with at the end of a long day?
At the end of a long day, the person I most look forward to sharing a beer with is my wife. She's pretty cool, so I like hanging out with her.
Where is the studio you use? If it's a home studio, tell us about yours.
I use Grindhouse Studios, and I get my records mixed by Plan B, Brandon. But Plan B 85 is who mixes my records. Grindhouse Studios is where I record in Charlotte, North Carolina. When I'm in Charlotte, when I'm in Atlanta, I record with Plan B 85, and when I'm in LA, I record with Los Angeles King, Mike Rojas. So big shouts to them. Because of the way Charlotte is, it's kind of like a black hole market, or at least it has been. So I was because of that, I was by default like forced to network and expand my network outside and, make it more national so that I could really support what I was trying to do. So I got camp in New York, camp in LA, camp in Atlanta. My main two camps are in, of course, Charlotte, 3 camps, Charlotte, Atlanta, and LA. And working with those guys, I keep a tight-knit circle. I've been making music for a really long time, so I've been able to really figure out who I work best with. And as far as engineers go, I really won't let a lot of other people touch my records. Production, my man Yo Buddy out of Augusta, Georgia. Then of course Plan B also produces. Big shout out to Hollywood out of Illinois, Peoria, and Rockford, Illinois. He gonna kill me for that. Rockford, Illinois, and all the other producers that I've worked with. Jay Kitts, he's also out of Atlanta. The network is big and it continues to grow, and I really appreciate everybody for their dedication to making this vision come to pass. It's really dope.